with Denver and Anthony Edwards, it's interesting because with all the Michael Jordan comparisons, Michael Jordan was in college at the same age as Anthony Edwards. He didn't have a 3-point shot. So Anthony Edwards is still on schedule. And a lot of people are upset by the Michael Jordan comparisons, but I don't mind it because he's still young enough where most of these players aren't winning an NBA championship till 27, 28, 29. So I think honestly, Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves have given the Denver Nuggets the toughest challenge of any team they've faced in the playoffs. They were the only team to get 2 wins against them in the playoffs in a series last year. And that was when he was 21 years old. So for me, I actually think that the Denver Nuggets might be Anthony Edwards' Detroit Pistons. That once he gets through and beats the Denver Nuggets, whether it's next year or the year after that, where he bulks up, adds some muscle, they get rid of Rudy Gobert and have an addition by subtraction on that team. I think that once he breaks through against the Nuggets, I think they're going to be his Celtics and Pistons standing in his way. And then once that happens, I think the West is in for some trouble because I think outside of Jason Tatum, I think he may be the best young player in the NBA, and he's definitely the best player in the NBA under 25.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I like his maturity as well, the way he carries himself, the way he is as a leader as well. I think that's something that the broadcast also mentioned on the show yesterday. They talked about how certain players on the Mount Rushmore, how the way he answers a question compared to players who are in the GOAT conversation might answer it. Nice little shot at he who shall not be named, but I agree there, and I honestly think there's a chance he still beats them this series. I think whoever wins this series is going to end up making it to the finals because I think both of these teams are better than the Thunder and the Mavericks, respectively.
Yeah.
So winner of this series is ended up going to make in the finals, and I do think the Nuggets have figured it out, and I think they're going to continue to do well. But I think this series could go 7.
Yeah, I definitely think the series could go 7. The interesting thing for me about the series and the Denver Nuggets specifically is every time, if you watch the show regularly, if you don't watch the show, you kind of just pick up the vibe and just know I say this without saying it, but I'm unveiling the document one more time. Aaron Gordon is the most underrated player in the NBA, and he's the key to the Nuggets' success. That trade, getting him away from Orlando, where he was the best player on that team, people rip the Nuggets for that. They're like, oh, you're trading for Aaron Gordon? Oh, the dunker. But what have we seen? Aaron Gordon has been an exceptional defender. When he D'd up Anthony Davis in the second halves, he was really the one slowing him down and discouraging Anthony Davis in those fourth quarters. And then also, as a rebounder, and then just being in the dunker position where every time Jokic is double teamed, either you have Aaron Gordon right there for a lob or a dunk, or you space the floor and he can hit a corner three. And then also his passing and his efficiency, you have someone who is a 3 or a 2 on a really competitive team, and he's probably your fourth option. And he's defensively been one of your best players, and now he is one of 3 players. Yes, one of 3. Aaron Gordon. Aaron Gordon, one of 3 players in the NBA to have 25, 5, and 5 or better, shooting 93%.
Yeah, that's insane. Every championship team has someone like as someone like Aaron Gordon, whether it be the Pistons with or the Bulls with Dennis Rodman, whether it be the Spurs with Robert Ory or the Warriors with Draymond Green. There's always that one guy. And I think Aaron Gordon, especially if he can go and win 2 or 3 championships with the Nuggets and maybe succeed elsewhere as well, you're talking about a guy who can do pretty much everything on the court. He can facilitate, he can shoot, he can defend, and kind of do what Jamal Murray and Jokic really can't. I know Joker can play defense to some extent, but he's more of that instigator. He's a little bit more of the defender, rebounder. I think that he's going to be a really nice piece for them. And the fact that he shot 10 of 10 in the first half last night and was just absolutely parabolic is a sign of how valuable he is to that team.